Are you driving around on ripped seats? After nearly 50 years, it's not surprising that most 914 buckets could use some love, especially since they're holding our aging buckets. So today, I'm going to show you how to break down your seats and prepare them for reupholstery with a kit from 914 Rubber. Even if you're going to have a shop do the upholstery, there's no reason you can't get the seats prepped yourself and save a few bucks. Let's get started. All right. Have my chair here. Just pull out the seat cushion, which is in pretty good shape. Leave that off to the side. The upholstery comes in two main pieces. The bolster, which are the side pieces here, and then the centerpiece, which is this. And of course, I guess the third piece would be the cushion. But we're gonna break this down first and then take it from there. The first thing I'm gonna do is turn this upside down and get the seat tracks off. Ratchet here. It's a number 5 bit on a ratchet. This one doesn't want to go. It's not fun. Now this metal piece has rusted completely over, which is why I can't get the bolt out. We'll drill it out. Now I can get the track off at least. Now the upholstery is held in place with these sharp barbs. You can kind of see one right there. And there's a listing wire. There's a wire that kind of fits inside this pocket here. See where this seam is? There's a, almost looks like a coat hanger wire within there called listing wire. And this barb kind of hooks around the listing wire, and then the barb is bent down to keep things nice and taut. So in order to get everything out, what we're going to do is pull out these barbs, lift them up, and then remove them from the listing wire. Basically how it works, just unfold the barbs, then pull the listing wire off of them, and then you can pull the upholstery off the chair. There are 2 screws here which hold this little pad. So we'll get those out. We want to keep the little sleeves that come with it, because the new upholstery won't have that. Also keep the card itself. You'll see in a second. We pull this down. You can see what's going on there. Now there's also screws in here which hold the centerpiece on. Looks like I'm missing one back there, but I'll take this out too. Doesn't look like it's really holding anything. And it's not. I'm going with a wider shot here so you can kind of see what's going on. You can see like what you need to take apart. So this is now free. So it lifts up and then out, because as you'll see, there's a little kind of metal thing in here that sits on top of this. So that's what you kind of have to go up and out with that. We'll deal with this in a few minutes. Just cutting above the listing wire here. Get it out. So once that happens, I'll be able to have some leverage on it. Okay, so you see the listing wire here. Now I'm just gonna pull them down. See, and these pieces come off anyway because the pop rivets that hold them in give way, they get rusty, whatever, and you're gonna have to probably replace at least a few of them. And up until recently, they weren't really available, but now 914 Rubber makes these and you can replace them. It's helpful if you can bend this up too, but since I knew they were kind of crumbly, I didn't really put a lot of effort into that. So this is out. Once that happens, you can really pull the whole thing off. But we'll get the other side done first. So you don't have to cut it. You can just kind of like basically take it off the same way that you're gonna put it back on. But if you're not using this anyway, it is a little bit easier to cut. You know, it's important to unglue or get the material off this card. We are gonna need to keep the card or make a new one, but it's better to have the original for a template. So we'll take this out. Good. And now this is out too. And you'll see that the bolster comes off kind of like a jacket and goes on like a jacket too. And work your way down. And now it's just really glue and the force of the tracks holding it in that kept it on. Here's our shell with our foam. It's in pretty decent shape. I might have to supplement with a little extra foam just to keep things puffed up. Typically, like if this is a driver's seat, probably was, you can see that the foam is in much better condition on the right side. On the left side, where the entry happens from years and years of getting into the car, I'm gonna drill out the rivets here that hold the nut plates in, because I'm gonna replace them anyway. And it's the easiest way to get them off. All right, that was easy. And this will just pop out through the other side. You can just remove the plate here. You know what they say, there's always rust in a 914, even rust you can't see. Here's an example. Here is where that really difficult piece was. Ugh, look at it. No wonder I couldn't get that bolt out. Man, crusty and crunchy. For the barbs that line the top part, you have to kind of pull the foam out a little bit. So you can see here's one of the rivets that I need to drill out. Fortunately, they come out pretty easy. So you can see it there. I've also got to get the ones that should have been there for the bottom that weren't out. Now you don't want to use a drill bit that's too big. You only want it really about the size of the rivet because you don't want to enlarge these holes. Okay, now all my barbs are out and I'm ready to go and clean this up and get it ready for some new barbs so that we can start the upholstery process. There's a lot of rust in here, so I'm just going to pull the foam up and let the vacuum get at it. Okay, here's the hardware that came off the seats, the before, and here, as I drop some, are the after. Beautiful new plated pieces from 914 rubber. Just to give you a sense of the difference. If you're one of the 75% of people who watch my videos but haven't yet subscribed, please do. It's the best way to let me know that you're digging these videos and encourage me to make more. So just click and subscribe already. It's free, and you'll be notified when new episodes are up. Just click that little thing right down there. Okay, these are going to get affixed to the seat shell with a pop rivet, which looks like that. And what will happen is this pop rivet will go through the hole in this and the hole in the seat frame, and the tool will pull this back, kind of squishing this and pulling this piece tight against the frame. This is a pop rivet gun, and it comes with different size holes, and you want to get it so that the hole that you're using is as close as possible to the diameter of the pop rivet. So this is too small, this Goldilocks thing, and this one's just right. So we'll take this out and put it at the business end of the pop rivet gun or tool. There's like a clamping mechanism inside here which grips onto the shaft of the rivet. So as I pull on it, it's going to pull the shaft backwards, squishing this against the piece, and then it will ultimately break off the excess shaft. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we're going to take the rivet and put it in the hole. And then on the other side, we'll take this and get it in the right position. Then take the rivet gun, put it on there, and then it's kind of a ratcheting mechanism, so just kind of pull it, keep going with it until it snaps. And that's the snap. Now if you look, the rivet is in nice and tight, and if we spin this around the other side, you can see that it's in good position. The rivet smushed against the metal here, and this piece is not budging anywhere. So just have to do that with all the other points on the chair. Now the ones that go on the bottom here, I'm going to bend the barb up a little bit, just because I know that when I have to put the insert in, it's going to need to fit around it, and if it's bent all the way down, it'll be harder to do, so I'm just bending that up a touch. Now when we're riveting in this bottom piece where the seat track goes, before I rivet it, I'm going to make sure that the piece is in the right spot. I'll just put the bolts in first just to anchor it before I rivet. Otherwise, I might not be able to get the seat tracks in. And then this piece should go in perfect, which it does. Perfect. All right, here we have the center piece, and you'll see that there's like some cardboard here. The material is actually sewn to the cardboard, so we're gonna break the stitches on that just with a razor blade here. I like to work with the bare blade carefully. We want to save these pieces of cardboard. We're going to need them. Now the foam is glued to the cardboard, so I'm just going to wedge my hands in here to break the seal with the glue. You want to keep the foam and you want to keep the cardboard, so don't muscle it. Just go gently, take your time. There we go. So that's one piece that's out. And now we're left with this foam, which, again, be gentle and kind of like fish your hands in there and try to just free it from the material. Okay, so we need to keep that foam as well. And you'll see that there are hog rings here that hold the material to a metal frame. Got some giant size needle nose that are helpful. And we'll just kind of pull this out. You can also clip them, but it's not on that strong, so they'll come right out. There aren't that many of them, only a couple. As opposed to like I have a 65 Mustang and there's like 300 of these in the seats. Just a different kind of method of putting it all together. Okay, so that's gone. And now we can reveal the inner metal structure of this. There's also stitches up here that the foam kind of like fits in between the metal. So pull that out. Okay. All right, now the actual cover is free. It's the old cover. It wasn't in horrible condition, except it was ripped up here. That's why I'm changing it. Keep that off to the side. We might reference it later. This is the headrest foam and they almost all have cracks like this in here. They almost all look like they're coming apart a little bit. You can see the metal substructure this kind of hooks over the edge of the chair like this. And there's metal structure here too, more foam, and then when we put the new piece on, it's gonna connect to that, and I've got some hog rings for that as well. And now we have the seat. This is definitely way past its prime. And it's just held with staples down here. So this is about just going around and pulling them and then using a plier to get them out. All right, and it's time to just open this up. So you can just kind of wrap it up over the foam like this. And then once that's done, it kind of works its way out to the front. Again, you want to really be careful and try to preserve this foam and whatever's there as much as you can, because they don't really make this. You'd have to refashion it, and that wouldn't be fun. And since I'm not going to save this, I'm just going to give myself a little bit of an easier time. And you can see here, the string is kind of tying into the actual cover there through that. I'm just going to cut along this top seam here. All right. And now we have our foam. So here's the new upholstery, and it has this same kind of flap that I can use to thread the string through here. So I'll just kind of sew that up, and then once it's sewed up nice and tight, bend these over the foam. But we'll see that when we get into the reupholstery phase. So that's part one, disassembly and reconditioning. At this point, you could take the frames and new vinyl covers to an upholstery shop and let them finish the job. Or watch part two, which is coming in a week or so, where I'll show you how to install the new seat covers yourself. Either way, you'll save some dough, and your 914 will look a lot better. If you like my videos, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe. If you really like them and find that they're helping you enjoy your 914 and maybe save you some money, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Ian Carr. There's a link in the comments below. Thanks as always to 914 Rubber for sponsoring this build. Be safe and enjoy the addiction.